The world abounds in change through man's ability.
Hey, welcome to Foulcast, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Doug.
I felt fucking old driving over here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was in the car next to a car full of like a bunch of like I guess teenagers. And they were like rapping and doing that shit with their arms and just being like over the top, trying to like fucking get everyone's attention around them. And they had that stupid fucking moppy haircut with the fade on the side. I'm like, God, these kids are fucking losers. And then I'm like, no, they probably get like all the ass in high school.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They're way cooler than I ever was. Would put the window down and be like, nerds!
That's the appropriate response, I think. Like,
Yell nerds just as you pull into the comic book store.
Yeah. When I got in the car, I hate my radio system so much because you can't, when you turn it on, you can't turn the radio off. It always turns on with the radio on.
Oh, okay.
And you can't turn it to static. So, no matter what, like when you turn it on, I've tried everything other. Whenever like I get in and turn the car on and turn the volume up, there's some shitty song playing. And I've seen those memes where it's like, what today's music sounds like to me. It's like me, 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 me. And I'm like, huh. It was legitimately like whatever. It sounded like fucking Beaker. I was like, oh man. I don't know if music actually is this shitty now, or if it's just like I hit an age where y'all's young people music just sounds like Muppets to me. But
I don't know, because like when dubstep became a cool thing, that was when I was like, oh man, have I aged out of music already? And then after dubstep came like the SoundCloud rappers.
yeah.
And then the fucking Xanax rappers.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It was definitely some Xanax core. We don't call core things core anymore, do we?
Probably not.
I think we do sometimes. Clowncore is a thing.
Is it a porn?
No.
Oh.
I
think we're on the same wavelength.
Do you know what clowncore is?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were talking about porn.
Oh, no, we're not.
Y'all got real excited about two totally different things. Like you just found a similar. You just hook up with someone with a similar interest.
Well, that's because there's big news in the world of porn, but I'll let Doug talk about
the Pornhub stuff
for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's clown?
So clowncore, I was excited that I thought you knew what clowncore was, so I wouldn't have to explain it alone. So clowncore is like an art project more than anything, and it's what the fuck's the guy's name? Lewis Cole.
Okay.
He's like
I was gonna say Bubby Clowns.
He is like a multi-instrumentalist.
Okay.
Like he is kind of a musical genius. He's like some kind of weird musical genius. And I think he's primarily a drummer, like a jazz drummer. And he, I guess, decided that jazz wasn't complex enough for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So started doing like experimental jazz, like noisecore, dressed as a clown in a porta potty with his friend playing a saxophone. Their lyrics are literally just voice, like wordless shrieking, but there are subtitles on the screen during the video so you can know what the words are supposed to be.
Nice.
It's actually kind of like legitimately good, like from like a music nerd standpoint, if you're like going to analyze it from like a compositional standpoint. Some weird shit, man.
I watch There's a old-timey wrestler named Dutch Mantel, and he has a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about... I like watching his stuff, because he's a guy that I didn't really pay much attention to when he was like an active wrestler. But he was talking about when he did this not Legends of Wrestling, it was a Legends Wrestling show put on at the Gathering, where it was just all like really old guys, and the whole crowd was fucking drunk and stoned out of their minds, and they wrestled at 8 a.m. No, at 8 p.m. and then 2 a.m. He's like, it was legitimately the earliest I ever wrestled and the latest I ever wrestled.
Within a 24-hour period,
Yeah.
too. That's ridiculous.
And it was just unbelievable. Because he's like an old, like Memphis guy, like an old, his last time he was on TV, he was playing like a Trump right-winger manager guy. I think he is like a right-winger. So,
sounds about right.
Not who you expect at the Gathering. So,
Right.
Just him talking about, he was like, they would just bury the drugs and then wait for the cops to leave and then dig them back up. And he was like, since it's on private property and nobody was snitching, there's just tables with drugs on them, and the cops couldn't come in unless they had a reason to. He was like, it was the damnedest thing I ever saw.
Oh my god. Fucking Gathering. Do you remember JCW?
Yeah.
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 Do they still do that?
Yeah. They still put on JCW deathmatch shows, I think, at the Gathering and shit.
Jesus.
I mean, ICP just wrestled in October at the NWA Samhain show. Did you hear about the NWA Samhain? Did you?
No.
What the fuck is that?
Yo. This was and the NWA, oldest United States wrestling thing, kind of went away until Billy Corgan bought it a couple years ago. And he's been putting on like old-timey wrestling.
Wait a minute, Billy
Yeah.
Corgan bought it?
Yeah.
Oh,
he did.
wow, that's crazy.
Oh, man, I'm so glad I get to tell this story. So
You said it, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Wait, the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins
Yes.
bought...
the National Wrestling Alliance, yes.
The only Billy Corgan in existence.
Right?
So he buys it. He's a fan of old 80s, 70s, 80s NWA Southern style wrestling. So he's gonna try to build like a new version of that old style. And he was like, they did some kind of fun stuff at the beginning, but the problem is everybody can go somewhere else and make more money if that's of any interest.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like a stable of guys, but that was basically it. And there was a lot of young guys.
So it was just like people who were doing it because they wanted to, not...
Yeah, it was like some guys are like, yeah, this like Trevor Murdoch is like a guy who wrestled in the early 2000s that should have wrestled in the 70s. He's one of their guys because he's like, yeah, nobody at the big companies want me. I'm a big fat guy, but like this is like the right size for me. And they had some other guys.
It's just so unexpected.
It is. It's very unexpected. So they put on a show in October called Samhain or Samhain. They had just gotten a deal to get on the CW. Okay? So they put on this show.
It's something.
It's the most fucking bizarre wrestling show you're ever going to watch. So the host of this show, they tried to do something different. So the host of the show is Jim Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, who was a wrestling manager in like ECW era. He's like a devilish guy.
Okay.
So he's hosting it. He's on this little stage drinking whiskey, and he's got a bunch of like a bunch of women, scantily clad women, wearing masks of his face around him. And they did some really dumb like they had a battle royal. No, they had like a battle royal match where like two people would wrestle at a time, and then one would get thrown out, and the next person would come in. So it was like a 1-on-1, but it was battle royal rules.
It's like a gauntlet.
Kinda, but then one person was allowed to come back in at the end.
This is custom settings in the wrestling
Yes,
games.
it's very weird. Then they did couple other stupid matches, like a round table match, because they had people dressed up like knights, and they kept putting people through tables. But when a tables match, typically you lose when you go through the table. But nobody was losing because they didn't put them through the round table.
They were putting them through rectangular
yes.
tables.
Oh my god.
And the whole time, Sinister Minister's coming out and doing weird shit.
And he's just the MC?
Yeah, he's just coming out and talking. And then Billy Corgan came into the ring and just dropped F-bombs trying to cut a promo on somebody, and he can't, like,
On
dude.
the CW?
No,
Okay.
they have not. They just got a deal. This is a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, they just got a deal?
Before this show.
Okay.
So, and then they, the match that cracked me, I didn't watch it, I watched somebody's recap of it. But the match that cracked me up was, yeah, it was the Headbangers from the 90s, who still look like they're from the 90s, versus some other team. And if you, this is actually fun to watch. If you try to pin somebody and they kick out, you have to take a shot.
So it was bound to happen eventually.
I have to imagine that was not gimmick liquor. But
That's some rinky-dink shit.
yeah,
right
it
there,
was
though.
it was really bad. It was a very low attendance, like all kinds of crazy, dumb, like
Just after they got
carny
the deal
shit
with the
happening.
CW.
But the reason they don't have the deal with the CW is because in the middle of the match they cut away to the Sinister Minister, or in the middle of the show. I don't know if it was in the middle.
Oh, I think I know what happened.
And he's just doing coke.
Yup.
That was gonna be my first guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Oh boy.
they didn't cut it.
Remember
When you said he
hearing
should have
about
wrestled in the 70s, I'm like, oh, he's
They-
got a coke habit.
They cut away to him to show him doing coke. It wasn't like, oh shit, he was accidentally doing coke.
They were like, look,
That
he's
was the
doing coke.
segment, yeah. And the CW's like, we're going to put you on our app now. Like,
Hey, they're gonna put him on their app.
because
They went from doing shots during a match to being on the CW's app.
app, yeah.
It's a step up.
They
When
had-
you said that this was an NWA Samhain show,
yeah.
I thought it was a concert.
And
it was gonna be fucking-
there.
Fucking Ice Cube was Cube in NWA?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cube, Eazy-E, MC Ren, Dre,
And
Who's it?
Danzig.
and Danzig, yeah.
I'd go.
Oh, I would invent time travel to go back to it.
Yeah.
If I found out that show happened.
It would be a
I
killer
am
fucking show.
going back to school to learn physics.
That would be better than the Run DMC. Oh fuck! Who did they play?
Aerosmith.
They played with Aerosmith, and I think there was another one too.
Anthrax.
Yeah,
Anthrax
yeah,
and-
they did Anthrax.
It was Anthrax and Onyx, I think.
Oh
No,
was
it
it?
was Biohazard and Onyx.
Yes, Biohazard and Anthrax
Oh.
and Run
DMC.
DMC did do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this would be so much better.
Yeah.
Not that there was anything wrong with any of those bands, but I mean, I'm not a huge Aerosmith fan, but
Yeah.
I remember seeing on one of the the YouTube shoot interviews that pop up, they were talking to a headbanger Mosh about his experience with ICP,
Okay.
because for a short time ICP was in the WWF at the time.
mm-hmm.
They were part of like
And they
the
were-
Oddities group.
ICP wrestle on the show too.
Yeah.
By the way, the Salmon show that just happened in October, so they're
Oh.
still going.
That's right. You did. That's how we
Yeah.
got on that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Tie it back up.
ICP was fucking over, so they went to Vince. And they wanted more money, and Vince is like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And yeah, Doug gave us a look that says that doesn't sound like Vince.
That doesn't sound right at all. God, did he try to kill them after he said that?
Kind of.
All right.
ICP went out for their match that night, which was going to be against the Headbangers.
Did he switch them?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say, did he send the APA in?
no. Before the Headbangers went out, an agent grabbed them, and they said, "ICP is not coming back." So the
Fuck 'em
Headbangers got the idea what was supposed to happen. And they went out there and they beat the living shit out of ICP.
On TV?
On TV.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that was it for ICP. You know, they weren't on WWF anymore. So this guy is saying that
They've wrestled in every major promotion.
yeah,
That's crazy.
That is really
They
crazy.
haven't showed up in AEW yet, I don't think, but every other single major promotion they've wrestled in.
That's amazing to ask your boss for a raise, though, and they're like, yeah, no, and also we're going to put the boots to you. Like, and you're fired.
Yeah.
So the guy doing the interview asked him, like, well, you guys worked for JCW, right? You guys did the gathering. And Mosh was like, yeah, so I got a phone call. And they said, you know, we want you to come out and do the gathering. And I'm thinking, like, oh, it's a fucking rib. They're going to, like, get us out there. And they're going to get everyone to fucking jump up on stage and just beat the shit out of us because of what we did to them. So he's like, all right, I'm going to give them an exorbitant number that they would
they're one of the
never
best payoffs.
possibly give us.
Yeah.
So he gave him that number, and they were like, yeah, sure thing, come on out.
Yeah. That the same Dutch said the same thing. He was like, I don't want to be involved with you guys, but here. They're like, yeah, sure. And he was like, oh, all right. Like, they're like one of the best places to make money in wrestling for like an independent guy.
Yeah.
Is JCW?
Yeah. I mean, you got to go to the gathering.
Well, yeah.
So, like, yeah, the Headbangers went to the gathering, and the whole time, like, they're plotting their exit and shit for when things get hairy, because they're totally expecting just to get fucking gang beaten by the entire crowd. But no, they went out there, they had their
them
match.
agreeing to the exorbitant fee was probably like making that worse.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Vince did to him before we beat the shit out of them.
They went out there, they had their match, everything like went off without a hitch, and ICP was like, oh yeah, we fucking loved having you. And they're like, we thought you were going to have everyone kill us. It's like, no, we love that shit. That was a good time.
Like, we were getting fired anyway.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's a long history of like, hey, go kick that guy's ass tonight.
Yeah.
Public Enemy were an ECW tag team, and they went to WWF.
They had it done in them in ECW as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they got keep their asses kicked on out of ECW, but they had a match with the Acolytes, who were like Ron Simmons and John Bradshaw, who were like they were the ass kickers. Shitty. Well, one of them was a shitty guy. The other guy just kicks ass.
Yeah.
Bradshaw's a piece of shit, but the other guy's just a big, strong dude. And they were like, right before they went out, they were like, we're not going to do all that. Like, this is what we want to do. And they're like, excuse me?
Yeah. They didn't want to go through a table.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to, like, angle for themselves to
Yeah.
have more of a future or something like that. The road agent is like, you put them through that table. So there's a video online.
Yeah.
The Acolytes just hit the ring and they beat the fucking tar out of them. They went through that table.
Yep.
I bet they went through it at least once.
I like it. And then they Public Enemy were like, thanks, and they left and never came back. Or something.
Yeah.
Damn.
I like the Dudleys though, because the next Dudley Boys came up, and they were like, the whole time they're like, oh man, we're ECW guys. They're thinking Public Enemy. They're putting us with the Acolytes. And the one guy Bubba was like, Devon, they're going to kick our asses whether we tried. So we need to go out there and beat the shit out of them. So they did. They went out there and kicked the shit out of the Acolytes, knowing full well that they had it coming.
Jesus Christ.
And then they said, like, they had an interview, and then the Acolytes were going to jump them. And they did. They jumped them, and you can see the video of it, of Ron Simmons grabbing a legit, like, 30-gallon drum, and just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
He said, like, they kicked the shit out of him, stood up, they were like, thank you, and then they were like, 4 of us are best friends ever since. Like, wrestling's so fucking weird. I like what he said, Bubba said, he said one time he was supposed to hit Simmons with a 2x4, and he's like, I don't know how to. And Simmons is like, you do know how to work a 2x4. And he's like, yes, sir.
I suppose I do
Yes.
now that you mention it.
Yes, never mind.
Shit. It occurs to me that working at the gathering is what in economics we would call an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Where you have the opportunity to make some good money, but like you also miss the opportunity to like not be at the gathering. Like I take that opportunity every year.
Cole Cabana's like their biggest heel because he came out dressed as a cop.
Yep. Yeah, because that.
Wow. Was that the intent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't come out dressed as a cop at the gathering and not expect.
They bought it hook, line, and sinker, man.
Man, that show that Dutch was talking about, I watched some of it. Some clips I found on YouTube, and it was like Bob Backlund and Ken Patera in their 60s.
Oh my god.
At the gathering at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Shit, that's Bob Backlund's wake up time.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Why? Like, I guess the clown guys just book them because they like them. It was all old guys. There was no young talent on the show. It was like a Legends thing they put on.
If you got that kind of money, you
yeah, I guess.
Fuck you want.
Wrestling.
Holy shit.
Fucking wrestling.
What is it, man? It's Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same as it always is.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever will be.
Thursday.
I did something on Tuesday, but I can't remember what it was now.
Got an injury in the family.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, what you told us about last week?
Willow
Oh, yeah.
tore an ACL.
Oh, that's what,
We got one good back leg between the two dogs.
Oh, my God.
God.
Jinx.
She went out to pee and came back limping. I don't know what she did. No idea. So, yep. Got that surgery and recovery coming up.
That is fucking unfortunate.
Do you have insurance for her?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's like $4,000 surgery.
Oh my god, dude. Mm-hmm. The fuck is it with those dogs?
I mean, our vet said it.
Just a golden retriever thing?
It's a big dog thing, they said. And I was like, okay, but... Now, I know, like, there's
I
some,
imagine the big purebred.
like, little
dogs
dogs
are
can
more
do it and
susceptible.
recover from it because there's not so much weight on it. But big dogs require surgery because there's more weight going on it from it. But this one's, like, our vet is like, she doesn't do the surgery anymore because the surgery, the recommended surgery now, she can't do. Like, Utley
Oh, like she doesn't have the equipment
did
or
the
something?
repair. That's not the recommended way to do it anymore now. Now they, like,
Oh.
cut, they take the ACL out, cut the bone, and then put a plate in there so the dog never needs an ACL again.
Oh,
What the
interesting.
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get that shit?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right? I was
really.
like,
Just take my entire fucking legs.
Yeah.
I that went through my head when we were sitting there talking to her, and I was like, "Fuck, just do both." like with Utley, like,
You guys gotta buy one, get one free?
yeah, really, like, because there is it's very common for them to injure the other one.
Because it's trying to compensate.
Yeah,
for the first one,
exactly.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's what happened with Utley. Well, he had them both torn at the same time. One was,
He may have torn one and then eventually tore the other because
They were-
compensating.
and he hit it so, like, he would limp after, like, activity, after daycare, and then not limp for days, and then go to daycare, and I'd have to go pick him up. And then we'd keep him out off his feet for a month, and then he'd be okay for a day, and then... Yeah, they x-rayed, and, like, one needed to be done, and the other one was, like, hanging on. And they were like, hopefully this one recovers by the time that one is done. and he was like 6 weeks into the 8-week recovery when the other one needed done.
Oh,
So
man.
he had nothing we could do about it. He couldn't walk.
Yeah.
So he's been. I mean, it's good since really. So it is effective. I hope
That's
this
good.
one's. She said this one's more effective and. Like,
I guess it's got to be better in basically every way, or else they would
Yeah.
have changed.
Yeah. So-
Yeah.
Tuesday I had my fucking sleep guy. I get in there, the
fucking sleep guy.
fucking sleep guy. Not in that order. There's like, it's been 6 months since I've seen you. Yeah, my asshole feels every bit of it. Fucking sleep guy. No, man. This guy starts talking about like breaking my jaw and wiring it shut.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
sleep apnea.
That's not what you do for that.
He was like, so you stop breathing 29 times in an hour, which is technically a moderate case.
Yeah.
But if you stop breathing one more time in that hour, it would be classified as a severe case.
So they
there's-
need to like take drastic measures to correct it.
He's like, there's 2 treatments. Now, the gold standard is the machine. So that's the route you go with first. Is like, if that doesn't work, if you don't like the machine, you may have to break your jaw,
They did not.
set it forward.
They did
and
not
wire
tell
it
my
shut.
mom.
If you don't like the machine, I might have to fuck you up.
You like that machine, you're gonna catch his hands. Damn.
That's probably why he's always doing the fist bump.
It was actually a threat.
Yeah. He's just sizing me
It's a
up.
hard fist, right? Don't you forget it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he would go to do the fist bump, and he puts it up to my face instead.
So yeah, right
Boop.
size.
Boop, motherfucker.
You love that CPAP, don't you?
Do you have the machine? Have you tried the machine?
No, he said after I got the test, which was like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
he put it in order like almost right away because he's like, yeah, this is a pretty bad case. Never fucking called me.
Oh god.
It's like, well, if you don't hear from anyone in another month, call me. Because, he put it in again.
Call me, I'll come break your jaw.
Yeah. Call me. I'll break their jaw.
No,
We'll go there and fuck them up together.
he lost the order because he's looking forward to breaking my jaw.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I just really want to break this
Just
guy's
fuck
fucking
that guy
jaw.
up.
This is Steve Martin from Little Shop of Horrors.
Like you walked in there and you're like moderately taller than him. He's like, not today.
Oh man.
I tried my mom's machine once. That shit knocks you out.
Really?
I probably have. That probably means I have sleep apnea.
Are you a snorer?
Not often.
No. Then
I talk a lot in my sleep.
in very mild case, I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. It feels good. Like maybe it's just like being lazy, and I'm like, oh, something's breathing for me. Awesome. But I quite enjoyed it.
Casey wants to get one because she has basically been told, yeah, you almost certainly have
Yeah.
sleep apnea. But
A lot of people do.
every time she went in for a sleep study, nothing happened. They were like, yeah, you slept perfectly normally. And now they want her to get another one done, but she no longer has the same insurance coverage. And it's going to cost
like,
like
yeah.
$1,000 or some shit, even after what she
sucks.
does have. Yeah.
I wonder if it can like if allergies can mimic the effects. You would think, right?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever.
You would think it would have to be a very specific set of circumstances
Yeah.
for them to confuse it like that, though.
Well, maybe not confuse it, but
Because if
it
it
might
was like,
reason why like her symptoms show up when she goes in for a test.
because the
Because the
allergen
allergies
is
aren't happening there or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
it could just be like positional too. Because this guy said like on my back was when I was having pretty much all the episodes, and when I was on my side, it was like really minimal.
Huh.
So he said another thing I could do is like fill a backpack with like socks and put that on when I sleep to try to keep me from rolling over on my back.
That sounds perfectly comfortable.
Yeah, I was like, look, man, just put in another order for this.
Yeah,
Just break my jaw.
Like people think
sleeping with a bag of socks, you fucking moron.
people think that the machine is like disruptive and like intrusive to your routine and your comfort. A backpack full of socks. Number one, you gotta buy all those socks.
Yeah, exactly. How many socks do you think I fucking have, dude?
Are you gonna use a very small backpack so you
Yeah.
don't have to spend quite as much on socks to get it full?
I gotta go to
Like not socks, but like towels or shirts or something in there.
I guess so.
Just,
I guess it doesn't have to be
We'll
socks.
just go to the thrift store
Your ninth grade jerk material.
and miss our Masala pictures. We'll just go to the thrift store again, rob the dumpster, and you can just sleep with that. Those bags of clothing.
Oh man.
That's such a weird recommendation. Fill a backpack with clothing and sleep with it.
Yeah, so that you force yourself to stay on your side.
No, he showed me
I mean,
things on Amazon. It's like people use them when they go hiking and stuff to sleep outside. So, like, lets them sleep on their side. But his just fill a backpack up with socks is like the cheap method.
yeah, I'd say. I don't know, Doc. Have you bought socks lately?
Shit.
I guess you could just go to Dollar Tree, but they're not gonna be as fluffy. So you're gonna need
Need
more. of
more,
them.
yeah.
No,
Unless you just put the fucking bag in there and don't open it.
the whole thing. So like maybe the air will keep it
Yeah,
puffed up more.
that's a weird recommendation. Give me the machine, please.
Yeah, for real.
No, everybody that I know that has one is like, oh yeah, that was fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
it sucks, but it's fantastic once you start using it.
You just have to make sure you're maintaining it properly so you don't get sick.
So it's one of those things I hear where, like, you don't realize what
Yeah.
it's doing to you
Yep.
until you have the machine that, like, actually lets you sleep.
Yep.
And that's just completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh my fucking god.
This
Yeah.
is what it's supposed to feel like, yeah.
Because, like, if I'm waking up 29 times in an hour...
Yeah.
Because when you wake up, you don't necessarily realize you wake up. You know, you wake up for a couple seconds and fall right back out.
Yeah,
But, like, if you're waking up 29 times in an hour...
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, my mom, when she got diagnosed, she thought it was because she was working night shift that she was falling asleep all the time. But she would, like, come in the house and, like, lean over on the love seat we had right inside the door, like, pet the cats or whatever, and just fall asleep. And she thought she was just exhausted because she was working overnight.
See, it's weird to me, because when you go in there, they make you, like, fill out this questionnaire. It's like, are you likely to fall asleep, you know, doing this, you know, if you're just watching TV, are you going to nod off? If you're at a red light for longer than a minute, are you going to nod off? What's the likelihood? And it's like, no, none of these things are going to cause me to pass out. So I think, like, out of 30, my score is like 1. So the result is, yeah, you're getting more than enough sleep. Well, apparently not.
Yeah, really.
But, like, I have sleep apnea, but I don't have the, I guess, symptoms that you would think of with it. I don't know.
Yeah, really.
Especially being like a borderline severe case too.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Like,
You would think you would be exhausted.
Go figure.
Yeah. Huh.
just run on rage.
Shit. Yesterday, I finally got going for my liver scan.
Mm-hmm.
After fucking nagging these doctors for like 2 years and everyone being like, no, liver's fine. Your labs are fine. Nothing's wrong. I am borderline cirrhotic. if not cirrhotic.
What the fuck?
God.
Yeah.
So why did they tell you everything was fine?
I have no idea. I mean, because my lab work is fine. They're like, nah, nothing can be wrong with your liver. Or, they'd send me in for a CT scan.
Mm-hmm.
And CT scans don't really pick up, like
So it's,
Your
the
organs.
texture
Yeah.
very well.
is it a case of, well, because of your age and other stuff, we don't think that's it?
Probably.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Huh.
I basically have to hope that because I'm so fat, the scan overestimated what's happening. Because if you're obese, the fiber scan tends to overestimate. Like, I didn't see the accuracy number before she sent it off to the doctor.
Huh.
She was like, yeah, we'll contact you about this. So I'm just kind of waiting on that.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah. How about that?
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? That's messed up.
And this is the fucking GI that, is like shooing me out the door. I'm like, wait. Okay. You've explained like one symptom. What about all this other stuff that's, It's like, well, fine. If you want that scan, we'll do it.
Jesus Christ. Ugh.
So, yeah.
What do you got to do for maintenance and treatment and shit?
If it
If
hasn't
it is.
advanced to cirrhosis, there's a small chance it can be reversed or it can at least be stopped.
Mitigated.
Yeah. If it has, I'm fucked.
Ugh.
Because, once it, like, decompensates, you need a transplant. And liver transplants are not exactly in abundance, so most people just die.
Jesus.
Yeah. There's, like, a whole bunch of hoops you gotta jump through to get a transplant. Like, if you don't have the right, I guess, support system, if you don't have the right insurance, it's just like one thing after another. And the thing is, like, if I do have cirrhosis, I couldn't just be like, all right, put me on the list, because you have to be sick enough to get on the list. And you might get sick enough, but then things might start functioning well enough that you're no longer
Oh
sick
my
enough.
God. Yeah.
So you get taken off the list.
Oh my
Man.
God.
Because, it always goes to the sickest
Yeah.
person.
Ugh.
So yeah, I imagine like the next step is something like an MRI.
Well, it sounds like
But
Doug and
it's-
I got to find you a liver. Without Doug eating it.
I know a cult.
Just got to keep you from cooking it up and eating it.
Oh, don't worry. I'm coming off a gout attack. I'm not eating any
Now is
liver
the time
anytime
for us
soon.
to go.
Yeah.
Organ harvesting.
We are safest from me eating liver right now.
No, I'm trying.
Can you
not
eat
to,
a cirrhotic liver, though?
Oh.
Like, if we get that one out, do you want
I
it?
imagine it wouldn't be too good.
You want to try it?
It'd be pretty
No, I
grisly.
don't want to get gout again.
I imagine it'd be a lot of gristle in
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, gristly liver.
That's a band name.
That's a country artist.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, Delta Blues.
Old gristle liver.
Gristle Liver Johnson.
That's gonna be my side project.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to like put the cart before the horse
Yeah.
because there is a chance of being fat. The thing has overestimated how fucked up my liver is. But
I mean, let's
see.
hope. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a nice thing to say, but it would be nice if they could come back and just be like, no, actually, you're just fat.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, right.
It'd be great.
Thank
They're
you.
like, oh, well, I knew that.
Thank
I'm
you.
fine with this.
Thank you. You're just fat. Let me knock you the fuck out.
We know a guy who'll break your jaw
Yeah.
apart and shit.
Keep you from eating anything. Oh, man.
We had an almost cybersecurity incident in our friend group recently.
Oh, yeah?
I've been legitimately dealing with a cybersecurity incident in my in-laws' family, so.
Oh, that sucks. This is just one of Casey's friends found this at an event that they went to and brought it home, and they told her about it, and they were like, yeah, we're just gonna like plug it in and see what's on it. And she's like, that's the fucking stupidest thing you could possibly do. Like, it doesn't have a brand name on it even, or like a capacity.
It
like,
could be a Nine Inch Nails album.
right? That's exactly what I said. I said it might be from Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
Who knows? And so why she was telling me about it was because they were like, oh, like, well, how do we find out what's on it then? And she's like, probably get Doug to spin up a virtual machine and just mount it onto that on a computer that's not connected to the internet, or like a computer that he doesn't mind completely re-imaging afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, I can totally do that. I want to know what's on this fucking USB stick.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Right?
Yeah.
So she brings it home. I spin up a VM on my MacBook. This is a 32 megabyte USB stick, number one. They don't make those. They don't make them anymore. It's not a thing. So I don't know where they even
That had a
fucking got
purpose
it.
at some point. Like, it wasn't just like some company bought 32 gig key to do something that only needed 32 gigs, and somebody took it and probably like wiped it thinking they found a flash drive.
Oh, it's not 32 gigs.
No, I mean, yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
If it was 32 gigs,
Yeah, like,
it might be
normal.
useful.
Yeah, no.
32
I meant
megabytes.
Meg.
So, what's on it is a single image file that says, like, congratulations.jpg or something like that. And the image just explains, hey, you found the secret USB drive that we planted in our own venue. Congratulations, that means that you win a free something or other. It's like you get like a $200 entree. I don't know exactly what the fuck they were talking about.
Okay.
But this was a promotion done by the venue that they were at to give away free shit, which we didn't find out what it was until 3 days after the event in question happened.
Okay.
So, like, they didn't get it. But, like, they were relying on their clientele to be dumb enough to just pick up a random completely unmarked USB drive.
See, that's what I mean.
And
They
shove it in their computers.
Yeah,
holes.
they bought the smallest USB drive they could because that's all.
Oh, yeah. It's weird, though, because it feels like, I think specifically for SD cards, if you want the smaller size
It's
ones,
expensive.
they're more expensive because people need them for devices
They
that can
probably got
only...
it from like China or something.
I think you got to realize, like, for the most part, people are dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
There are people who know better.
It's like, oh, I'll just plug this into my phone.
Yeah. I'd
might
say,
be
like,
safer
the
plugging it
majority
into
of
your
people
phone.
would take that home, and even if you think, like, all right, I got a flash drive out of it.
Did you hear
And,
about the fucking
right,
vibrators with malware on them?
No, it would.
They're USB rechargeable vibrators. They have a lithium battery in them.
I think I did hear about this.
And if you hook them up to a computer or anything that'll utilize the data connection, it tries to fucking take it over. They're like these like cheap generic vibrators, and they're like, yeah, just plug it in through USB, and it's like, well, yeah, but not to your computer. Like, don't take just like cheap Chinese electronics and plug them into your computer.
Well, if you're on the road, yeah, maybe the only USB free port you have.
I keep hearing about that with a lot of, like, Chinese shit.
There was a
Like,
couple years,
even like housewares.
a couple years ago, there was a IBM servers that had chips in them that were just phoning back shit to China.
Ugh.
That unless you took it apart, like some guy took the server apart and was like, "This doesn't look right compared to the schematics. What is this?" And like reverse engineering.
That's the only reason anybody noticed.
IBM didn't know. IBM didn't know. You would assume they didn't know, but who knows?
Even if they explicitly said they didn't know, I
Yeah,
would
maybe
not
they-
necessarily believe them.
But yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
man, it's data mining is real.
Oh, backtracking though. To the beginning of the show when I thought we were on the same page.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pornhub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about for that?
I don't
Clowns.
remember. Clowns.
Yeah.
Clowncore.
Yeah.
Clowncore. No, Pornhub has been shut down in Texas.
Oh.
Louisiana and Utah, 3 states.
Oh, yeah.
From what I heard.
Holy
I remember
shit.
hearing about Utah. I didn't know Louisiana, too.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
what I heard
Christ.
on my Discord.
It's so funny because Utah consumes so much pornography.
Wait, weird. In my work Discord, I was like, even if they repeal the law, just shut that one off. It's probably best for Utah.
Yeah.
They need to do something out there. I was like, they don't need it. Just let them forget how to fucking die.
If you're gonna ban a porn site, though, why Pornhub? Pornhub's
Well,
not
no,
even
it's
good
not
anymore.
born. It's not banned. Pornhub shut down access to it
Yeah.
Oh,
because
I get it.
they're passing laws saying every time you go to a porn site, you have to basically show your ID, some form of identification. They're like,
Oh, that
nah.
sounds expensive.
Yeah, right.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I guess you guys just don't get to use our website now.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yep. They're like, we follow strict guidelines and we're current with our security and verifying that only adults are getting to it.
I can't wait to see the VPN ads.
Oh yeah.
For, like, Mormon
Yeah.
YouTube channels now. They're like, are you finding that you can't get your arm workout in like you used to? You should try using a VPN. You
Yeah.
can pretend you're not from Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nord is salivating right now.
Yeah. Nord, Express,
Mm-hmm.
all them fuckers.
Yeah, they said, sorry, you're going to have to go to less safe sites if you want your porn now.
Go get your soak on somewhere else.
Yep.
Ugh. There was somebody who was... They like to interview people at BYU on the campus
I've
about
seen
I
that.
think I
surfing.
saw something where
Yeah.
he's like, how much would you charge?
And he was like, I do it for free.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you serious? People charge like $50 a bounce.
Yes. A bounce!
A bounce!
A bounce!
Pardon me. Yes.
I just...
I'd do it for free. Shit, that's a story right there.
You're going to have strict, like, we're going to have some beef then if I'm charging $50 a bounce. I'm going to say, Doug, fuck your story. We're getting fucking rich.
Look, if you were
I'm going to, like,
charging
muscle you
$50
into
a bounce-
joining my bounce union.
I'm not gonna start doing it as like a hobby for free. It's like one little scab
Yeah.
off to the side.
That's what they did on that jury show. I think it's called Jury Duty.
Oh, where the guy didn't know that it was... Yeah.
There was I forget who they got in. Oh, it was James Marsden. He was like the actual actor on the show. He was like,
He was just there as himself.
he's like, I'll bounce. And he went in and he was like, oh my god, did you do it? $50 a bounce.
So good. $50 a fucking bounce. That's highway.
Could you imagine?
robbery.
You like that? You're like bouncing. You're
Depending on what hole you're putting in, it might be Hershey Highway robbery.
Oh, that's 80. That's 80 a bounce. Because you take smart care. You can't.
Oh yeah, you can't you got to finesse the bounce.
Yeah, right.
If you're doing
if you're
anal.
if you're going reg, you can go to town on that bed.
Fuck me.
Could you imagine that? You bounce once, you want another one? Yeah. Like,
$50.
yeah, exactly. You got a Fitbit on, just counting.
Yeah, those people, man. Where they're like, would you kill a puppy dog or ask one question to Joseph Smith? well, or no. Would you kill a puppy dog to ask a question to Joseph Smith? And yeah, he's just such like a visionary.
Yeah, oh man, I'd totally kill the fuck out of a puppy dog. And you're like, guys, even if he wasn't known to be a fraud, like we have records of it. We have police reports on Joseph Smith. Even if that wasn't the case, why would you?
What question do you have?
Like what? Yeah, what possible question could you have?
Yeah,
you could just ask the current like president of the church.
Yeah,
and he'd be able to give you the same answer because he talks to God all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works, man.
Don't kill puppies.
Yeah,
or they'd be like, would you rather? Oh my God, I think they might have even asked one time, like, would you rather suck a dick or drink coffee? And they're like, man, I don't know. We're really not supposed to drink coffee. And I'm like, yeah, you're gay. I don't know if you realize this or not. Like, I'm not judging or anything. Man. I just want you to know that, like I'm pretty sure you're gay. Do with that what you will.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, how can these people think that soaking is a loophole? But then you hear the answers to these questions.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they are that gullible that they don't believe they're fucking.
Yeah.
But you would think that the leaders of the church would be like, yeah, soaking isn't fucking. It's fucking, y'all. You know? Like, you would think they would try to let the kids know that, but the kids are still like, yeah, it doesn't count.
I mean, number one, they're probably getting a kickback on that $50 a bounce.
Probably. That does sound like a church thing.
Yeah, there are official Mormon soakers.
Yeah.
But also, like, they probably realize that if they, like, actually regulate all of the sexual escapades out of existence at BYU, they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want at that point.
Guess.
Like, it's going to just push them over the edge. They need something.
I guess it's, like, so fucking weird that they're just like, we're not even going to talk about. I'm not bringing this up on. Do they worship on Sundays? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about this on Sunday, that's for sure.
Well,
I guess everybody knows what it is, but they're so fucking Mormon, nobody actually, like, discusses it, you know?
The one that I saw recently, they were asking a guy and his girlfriend, and he didn't think that she would know what soaking was.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I've heard of it. And she's like, oh, I know what it is.
And
yeah.
he was like, really?
I was like, oh, okay then.
Fuck yeah.
Well, and then, like, actually said out loud, I might be more interested in doing it now that I know that you know what it is.
yeah.
Like, I just was too big of a pussy to bring the subject up.
Oh, dum.
For real, though, I feel so bad for Mormons. You hear that, Mormons? I pity you.
I mean, it is an entire fucking state wrapped up in that cult.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, kind of at least two, because Idaho is not far behind in the Mormon population.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on out there. Every time it comes up, I'm like, I don't know what's going on out in Idaho.
The fuck's Idaho up to?
Yeah.
We haven't heard from Idaho.
It's
like you're playing Among Us.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't heard anything from Idaho in a while. That's a little sus.
Yeah, Idaho's a little sus. Like, potatoes, I don't buy it. Like, all you're known for is potatoes.
And it's been that way for how long?
Yeah.
Always?
Like,
weird.
Even Ireland has, like, whiskey and car bombings. All you got is potatoes.
Guys, I don't know for sure, but just to be on the safe side, I think we should probably vote Idaho.
Yeah.
No, I saw one of those, like, Irish people try shit videos.
Uh-huh.
Like, have you ever tried an Irish car bomb? They don't call them Irish car bombs.
They do not.
Over in Ireland.
They most certainly do not.
No,
it's like an IRA thing.
Yeah.
Like the trouble.
On account of all the Irish car bombs.
Oh, okay. No, the way you said it,
like, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in Northern Ireland who have died from car bombs.
Oh, yeah, no, I get that. I just thought you were saying, like, they call it, the way you said it sounded like they call it some, like, like black people toes.
Oh, like the nuts?
Yeah.
God, Brazil nuts.
Yes, that's what they are. Yeah.
I fucking hate Brazil nuts.
Yeah,
Wait, they call Brazil nuts black people toes?
Not black people.
They don't say black people.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yep, and that's not the only reason I don't like them. They suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Their
But it's
only
a big-
redeeming quality is that they look like black people toes.
And we know this because we would have a bowl of mixed nuts, and like our older family members would be like, you know what those are
Yep.
called? And we'd be like,
Oh my god.
there's got to be another name for them.
Yeah.
That's not the scientific
No.
nomenclature.
No.
And they're like, well, they're Brazil nuts. And I'm like, then just fucking say Brazil nuts. Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine being that person who's like, I'm going to endear myself to my nephew
Right?
Yep.
with some good old
Oh
fashioned
yeah.
racism?
Oh yeah.
Like,
No.
like you know what the proper term for them is.
Yep.
Just fucking say that. Why do you got to drag me into your bullshit?
Hey, you know what Brazil nuts are called? Yeah, Brazil nuts.
Yeah. You just called him that, stupid. Don't say it,
Don't say it.
Uncle Ron. Don't say it.
We told you about this last time.
Get Ron away from them kids. Why, is he a pervert? No, he's got nuts. He's got a can of Brazil nuts.
It's a new generation, damn it.
Oh, a
So
whole
tired.
can of Brazil nuts.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
worthless.
They're like the ultimate filler nut.
Yeah, they are.
Like
Exactly.
nobody eats them.
No.
But they're huge.
You grab a handful and you eat them, and then you're like, oh man, I gotta finish chewing this fucking thing.
No, I have a bag of Brazil nuts at home. I've had it for like the last 2 years because they're so fucking big. I just don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
They're big and they're dry
Fucking
and they don't
problem.
particularly taste that great.
And you're only supposed to eat like 2 of them at a time because there's some shit in them that's like pretty toxic.
Yeah, I think it was Uncle Ron.
No wonder they say they're toxic.
Oh,
What am I thinking of?
yeah, no, like I get upset when you buy mixed nuts and there's too many peanuts in it
Yeah.
because that's filler.
Yeah.
But like
A Brazil nut?
if there's no Brazil
You're
nuts
ripping
in
me
it,
off if you put Brazil nuts in there.
yes,
Yeah.
if there's a single Brazil nut in that can of nuts,
Yeah.
it's taking up far too much
Yes.
space. You could put it in equal like volume of peanuts and I'd be happier.
Yeah.
Doctors advise eating no more than 5 Brazil nuts a day to avoid potential health risks like selenium toxicity,
Selenium toxicity.
which is responsible for such symptoms as bad breath, diarrhea, nausea, skin rashes and lesions, nerve pain, fatigue, and can cause kidney failure, cardiac arrest, and even death.
Fucking Uncle Ron just keeled over. He ate
been
too many
eating-
peep toes.
That man's up the gate. And Peter's like, "What brings you here, Ron?" And he's like, "N-word toes." You know what they call Brazil nuts, don't you?
Could you imagine that happens and some kid doesn't know that, like, what they're talking about? Like, yeah, Uncle Ron passed away. Turns out he ate too many peep toes. And some kid's like, holy shit. Uncle Ron was fucking nuts.
Uncle Ron was like a freak, man. He had a very specific fetish. And I didn't know that was bad for you, even.
He
You
did.
just gotta wash them
Yeah,
first.
he's just looking at all the women's toes around, just seeing if they were a victim.
Oh, God. Why?
Damn.
I'd never heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We had the same experience, too, of finding out how that's what they were called.
There were definitely other instances of things that had colloquial names that were, like, extremely racist. But, like, the more widespread term for it was the non-racist one. They were just, like, insisting on telling us it was the racist
Yeah.
thing. I just can't think of what they were at this point.
Uncle Ron goes home. Yeah, I was trying to save Doug from himself. He just won't listen to me. I'll try again next year.
I'm gonna get an N-word out of that kid.
I already got to Dustin.
So, speaking of poisoning, did either of you hear about the Mother God cult?
Yes, I watched
Yeah.
the
Did you watch the documentary?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yo.
That was fucked
Yo. That was fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up.
They're like a cult that... You should really watch it.
Really?
They sold colloidal silver, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, as some like miracle cure, you know?
Which they've been doing since like the 1200s.
Yeah,
we know it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
enough. But
understand.
but if you drink enough of it, you turn blue.
and then you die.
Yeah.
And then you die, and this
Yeah.
lady fucking turned blue. Like, she's legit.
That's not even a spoiler. They show you that
Yeah.
first scene of the documentary. You see her corpse.
I'm
Yeah.
mildly familiar with like what happened to her and everything.
That document, that was fucking wild, man.
Yup.
She drank that shit, turned blue, died.
I mean, they were giving her like a quart of that shit
Oh, yeah.
a day or something.
Yep.
So
I remember like,
And then they kept her corpse around.
yeah,
it was basically mummified,
Yeah.
just sitting
Well-
on the bed.
she might have been in Florida at some point.
Possibly. They ended up in
I think
Hawaii.
that somebody involved after they left ended up in Florida.
No, I mean she may have been a Florida artist.
Oh, okay.
That's very possible.
That's
yeah.
possible, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, that's wild.
yeah, because that headline,
Yeah.
that's a Florida headline. If we got Hawaii, they weren't in Hawaii when she died, though. They moved back to the
Yeah, they're like
mainland
North
by
Dakota
then.
or something like that.
yeah.
Man,
If we had a Hawaii on I don't know if we've ever done Hawaii on Florida.
it might
We
have happened.
probably have.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not going to go through like several years of Florida's to confirm.
We've had the UK
Do you
as
We
a
have.
state.
do you have
Florida.
them? Do you still have all of them?
Yeah, I would have emailed.
Really?
them to
Oh
myself.
yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
You search for Florida, Hawaii.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That documentary was fucking wild.
We also watched Orgasm Inc. The story of,
Coming.
well, it was.
It's a story of coming and then writing with it. Orgasm Inc.
Oh, no. Oh.
Did you see that?
It's about a cult. It's a company that like purported to like give you seminars to show you how to like
Oh, I
please
saw.
the
It was like a
opposite
couple.
gender
They would
sexually
talk
and-
in like Zoom calls and shit. Something like there was like a couple that did Zoom calls, or is that something else?
I mean, they definitely had Zoom calls.
Okay.
This was a really unique situation because like, well, I guess the Mother God thing too. They had all of their Skype calls recorded,
Yeah. Yeah. They have like everything.
so they were able to use all of their
And it was all on
communications in the
YouTube, yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
It's real interesting. But this was kind of the same kind of thing. Like they had all of the like sessions.
Yeah, that one was pretty captivating.
Did either of you guys watch any more of the Big Les show?
No.
No, I was thinking about it the other day though.
I am about to.
I couldn't
finish
remember
it.
what it was. I was like, what's that thing that Doug showed us?
I've watched through the Big Les show itself
Uh-huh.
twice now. I told Casey like the last episode of it was like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Chuma Island 3. Chumas are the yellow thing that we saw in the video that we
Okay.
watched a few weeks back. But like, I told Casey like I want to watch that last episode because there's other side projects that they did because they did like the Mike Nolan show and they did the Sassy the Sasquatch show and they did Mike Nolan's Long Weekend and like that all takes place. Or it doesn't take place after necessarily, but like they all reference things that happened in Chuma Island 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I want to watch it so that I can watch the other stuff. And I was like, I also want to really rewatch the rest of it. And Casey goes, well, why don't you rewatch it? And then by the time you're done with that, I'll be ready to watch Chuma Island 3 with you.
Mm-hmm.
It took me one evening to watch through
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
the show because when they start out, they're like a minute or two long. The longest one is an hour and a half. I think before that, the longest one was 45 minutes. And other than that, I think the longest one might have been like 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's real short. I'm about to finish all of it. And I gotta say, it gets fucking trippy. Chuma Island 2 was the finale of Season 3. And I found out that while making Chuma Island 2, the creator had his first experimental experiences with LSD. And it was pretty trippy.
Yeah.
And it kind of stayed that way. Made me want to do
lost
acid.
in the '60s and did not get out.
It's definitely a very interesting show though. Like once it grows a plot, it starts getting very lore-y. And there's a running gag that there are no women in the show because there aren't. Like, not only are there no like main characters who are female, there are no women until like one of the spin-offs. There's like a mermaid. That's it. That's it. All of the rest of it, no women whatsoever. And they have a lot of parts where there's like a close-up when two men shake hands. So like it shows the screen, like the person's hand comes in front, the other person comes in, and they grab their hand and then they squeeze it, and like they animate them squeezing it, and then it cuts back to their faces and they're like, like they don't say but like they have that look on their face like, that's a good handshake.
Did either of you ever watch the Y-Files YouTube? It's I finally found, so couple things. On Saturday or Sunday, I don't know what the algorithm thought I needed that morning, but it started giving me like creepy content.
Oh, like creepypasta stuff.
Just it was some channel where it was like top 5 creepiest things ever come out of Craigslist, this and that. So I watched a couple of this, but this one story was fucking crazy. This lady, when she was a kid, she was walking on this bike path around her, where she lived with her dog, or when she was a teenager, I guess. And she saw this man wearing this very distinct coat just staring at her. And she like tried to go around him and he wouldn't stop staring at her. And then next thing she knew, it was like a couple hours later and she was home in her bed. And it was like, whoa. And then she moved back into the development later as an adult. Still had the dog was old, but she was walking the dog on the bike path. Saw this guy again and he was on the cell phone screaming. And he broke the phone and stared at her. Woke up in her house. Lost time again. She's going crazy. She's like, oh my god, like this is like a demon or something. That's what it's like wanting you to think. There was a knock at her door. Guy was there. She woke up hours later in her bed. No, she woke up hours later, had to get rushed to the hospital because she was pregnant at the time, and
Jesus.
But here, what actually was happening? She got like psychiatric help. She was having seizures. And that's the way her brain was telling her,
this guy.
You're going to have a seizure.
Huh. I've heard of that.
That's fucking wild.
Like I've never heard of it just like this, but I have heard of people like seeing something or smelling something
and like it's
not really there.
It's so fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a seizure is your brain just kind of flipping
that's
its
the
shit
only way her
bit.
brain could be like, yo, shit's about to get fucked up.
That is
the demon's back.
creepy as
isn't
fuck.
like whoa.
Like that's the worst possible.
Yeah.
Warning that your brain could be giving you.
Yeah, she was like, I don't believe in it, but like I did then until she was like,
I know what I fucking saw.
Yeah,
wow.
But no, the then it led me to the Y-Files, which is a YouTube channel, and I love his setup. This guy, the way this guy does it, he does like half the episode is the conspiracy theory, cryptid encounter, whatever, and the other half is like he does a real good job making you be like, holy shit, this might be real. Not that I think it is, but like it. You can buy into it.
I mean, especially with cryptids, I always hope it's real.
Yeah, right. Like you can buy into the story he's telling you for the first half of the episode, and the second half of the episode is like, here's why all that was bullshit. I was like,
I would enjoy that.
Yeah, it's very good.
What is it called?
The Y-Files.
Okay.
I've been enjoying it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to that so I don't forget to watch it later.
Watch one about the sleeping man. Which is like, the story is this lady or this guy or somebody was having dreams every night where he was seeing this person and he was...
Holy shit, some of these episodes are like 3 hours long.
Yeah, he does some really well researched too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, those are compilations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's like compilation
like
creepy classics, and it's
like the Roswell one
shit.
was about an hour. Like they're really well researched.
That's cool.
There's one there's the sleep like, oh, I'm seeing this man every night when I'm sleeping, drew, they did a drawing of him, gave it to a psychiatrist, and he was like, he had it sitting on his desk, and then like a week later, the next patient came in, and they're finished with their session, and he saw the picture, and he was like,
it the "Have you seen this man"
Yeah.
thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
That's creepy as fuck too.
hoax.
Complete hoax.
Yeah, he's
they just made it up.
Somebody legit was like, I wonder if I can do a hoax.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and that's how that happened. Yeah. He like broke it all down, and I was like, oh man, this is like, because I already knew, this was like the second one I watched of his, so I was like, I didn't know I didn't know how the show runs. Mm-hmm. Like the first one, it was that. But the second one, I was just like, oh, I wonder if this is one where he's stumped, or like, this is really weird. And he was like, no, it's fucking hoax, and here's why. It was some dude that was just like, I wonder if I can do a hoax.
It's kind of like the guy who did the Bigfoot footprints.
Yep.
Mm.
Like, he came out decades later.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, no, I still have the things that I used to make them. Like they're just like wooden things with sticks on them.
Yeah.
Why do people believe this?
Yeah, you're right. Cryptids, I'm just like, please, like, let's find like one. Find
one.
something that would be
Just
cool.
one.
That would be fucking cool, right?
Yep.
If it's just like a weird animal we've never, that like a chupacabra, but it isn't like mystical in any way, that would be cool. It's like, oh yeah, this is weird fucking jackal thing.
Sure.
It's rare as fuck.
Or even
It doesn't run through walls like Mike says. But
what if it's like a land lamprey, where it just like scooches up
Yeah.
to like a cow or a goat, just latches onto
Yeah.
it, and just like sucks its fluids
yeah, that'd
out
be cool
and
as
moves
shit.
on.
That'd be cool as shit.
Right.
Like, oh my god, we found something! Yay!
It's a chupacabra.
That's the fluke, man.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh man, we're an episode or two away from the end of season 5 of the X-Files.
That's where
We
I
kind of
stopped.
got off it for a little bit.
Well,
That's
no,
where
the
the movie
movie's after
happened.
season 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stopped.
Oh, you watched the movie and then
Yeah,
didn't
we
go
did.
back?
Yeah, we did.
That's when me and Ken almost had a three-way.
We totally could have had it.
And I'm like,
I was just
X-Files
telling
movie?
somebody about that. We were talking about how oblivious guys are.
I even
was
said, I think we walked out of a three-way,
Yeah.
and you're like, yep. And Ken was the wheelman, so I had to go with him.
Yeah. Just go running back.
We were totally...
We got in that car, and I'm like, we're totally left the tower, man. Triangle. Ken's like, yes, we did.
Leaving three ways on the table.
Why? I could live with myself.
That'd be a fucking... Could you imagine that car ride home? Having never discussed, hey, would you be down to get into a three-way?
I mean, I figured out the answer. I was like, we walked out of a three-way, and you're like, yep. Let's get back in there.
Oh, no, man. I think she was down. She was into her roommate, too. That might have ended up in a four-way.
See, that was the only possible, like, wrench in the gears there, besides for Ken. Not wanting to go back in there. Because I think he had his kid up there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay.
This guy and his kid would just walk down. Now me gone to town with the X-Files. And Ken's tapping his watch.
I gotta get up in the morning, dude.
Oh, man, that was one of the weirdest fucking nights.
That was so fucking weird.
Was he tapping his watch because he wanted to get going? Or was he timing you? And he's like, you better last at least 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
No, we ended up at Eaton Park because what was there to do in
It was
Central
a
Pennsylvania
friend of
in
ours was like,
2004.
Yeah.
hey, I have a friend that just moved to your area. Here's her number. Hang out with her. And we did.
Yeah, but when she gave me her address, she didn't tell me if it was North Steelton or South Steelton.
Yep.
So we went to like
The wrong steel.
the North Steelton first.
Oh.
And the guy there was like, is there a Tracy here?
Which was
I'm
not
like,
not her name.
Yeah. I'm like, no, Stacy. He's like, Stacy! There's no Stacy! Yeah. No, it's a wrong address. I'm sorry. Someone like a fucking Nokia brick. I'm like, hey, you're not at this one, are you?
I don't. Yeah, so we picked her up and we went to Eaton Park. She got her face licked by that weird girl.
Which one?
It's Tina something.
Struthers?
Sure.
No, I
Just
think
out
her
and
name either started with a
Oh, that's
W
Sally
or a
Struthers.
Y.
Yeah.
Sheena Fey.
No,
That ends with a Y.
that would have been
That would have
better.
been much better. Actually.
Wait, you said weird girl. Tina
Yeah.
Belcher.
No, it was a real Tina from Middletown.
Like from the real world.
Yeah,
Yeah, of Middletown.
she might have been in your class, either your class or the one before.
She might have been the one before.
But anyway, she like licked her face. This big old fucking gray cow tongue lick.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry we brought you here.
And then we went back to her house and started watching the X-Files.
Went back to her
Yeah.
house and didn't fuck.
And then she was like, what was it like? I'm really good at giving people chills by breathing on their necks.
God, she was just like crawling all over us. Ken's like sitting down on the floor.
trying to watch the X-Files, bro.
So it sounds like she said, hey, so like I just moved into this area. I don't know anybody else around here. Send me a booty call. And what you got was, go hang out with her. She'll seduce the fuck out of you.
Yeah, I was hook, line, and sinker, man.
Well, no, I was trying to get I
think Ken may have been in a situationship with a Jehovah's Witness at the time.
maybe, but that I can honestly say I my thought was I should probably let the X-Files people do this on their own. I was I could see that there was some sort of connection there that I should probably not be involved in. And it would have been weird to be involved in it anyways.
That was not an option to her.
She was like, it's all for one, baby.
I'm going to give you some chills.
She was crawling from me to like just some fucking I don't even know, man.
Like the Babadook?
Close.
Just like crawling from you up across the ceiling to
There were two jungle gyms in that room.
Jungle Ken and Jungle Josh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was telling Rob and Nicole about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was just telling
like Ken walked us out of a threesome once. Oh, it was so fucking awkward. That guy came downstairs and was like, "Will you guys keep it down?"
she's there, fucking exorcist.
Yeah.
Spider walking across the couch. Oh man.
Oh.
And then she disappeared.
Never saw her again.
Never saw her again.
Never heard anything.
I think she friended me through a couple socials for a while.
Yeah, I was her friend on
Like
MySpace and
MySpace.
Facebook
Yeah.
for a few years. But
MySpace.
never actually
No contact.
heard from her again.
Remember when everybody thought they were a computer programmer because they learned some HTML to do their MySpace page? That was great.
MySpace was peak social network for me.
That's pretty good.
MySpace
That's
had
pretty
everything exactly how it should have been, and then they ruined it.
Yeah. Yeah, MySpace wasn't too bad. Put you in my top 8.
Fucking top 8. That's
Oh, man.
just... That had to drive so much engagement. Like, I know that that wasn't a term back then. But like you got people posting on MySpace if you looked at somebody's profile and expected to be in their top 8 and you weren't.
Oh yeah.
Just shoot them a message. Hey, what the fuck?
What the fuck,
bro?
man?
Like,
Fuck.
I'm not top 8.
I wonder what
material.
I wonder what would happen if somebody actually pushed to bring back a MySpace like social network, which I'm sure has happened.
I mean, MySpace tried to come back, and I think it
Yeah,
tried
but
to come back as
like
like
a
a
musical
music thing. Yeah.
I mean, what if like like Your Space or something.
Oh,
You know
I
what
see,
mean?
like Live Journal and Dead Journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen for like elder millennials.
I logged into MySpace a few months ago to see if I could like access any of my pictures, and they're all still on there
Yeah.
as broken links.
Oh,
I was
interesting.
able to
so
get-
the files just aren't there anymore. But like the
That's my guess.
pages.
I was
yeah.
able to get in a couple years ago. I forget what I wanted to. Oh, I think I wanted to go and see like the earliest back and forth conversations D and I had,
Mm-hmm.
and they might have been there at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I know it came back as a music thing. I think Justin Timberlake like bought it or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
See, I thought I had the pictures on there from when we shot pictures for the Hidden website or the Deathstroke website,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have them there. And then I tried to get back to my photo bucket,
Yeah.
but
and
it
that's
was
when
like
you couldn't get in your photo
taken
bucket.
over by someone in China.
Yeah. I wonder if somebody could actually make that nostalgic push for an old school style social network.
Only a chronological feed.
Yep, that's it. That's all you get. That's all you get.
You give me a chronological feed, I'll use your social media network.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
No fucking suggested posts.
Nope.
Fuck.
Nope. Keep
I
that shit.
don't even look at my fucking Facebook feed anymore.
Yeah. No.
Nope. The only time I look at Facebook anymore is when I get a push notification, which usually happens
I look at
several
my
days
groups.
after the post.
I look at my
Yeah.
groups, that's it.
I found out that CK5 were doing a free show in Philly literally 3 full days after the show
Yeah.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. It's useless. So I did just want to mention very quickly that there's a country thing that happened to me recently, and that was on a Discord server where a buddy of ours came into possession of his grandfather's record collection.
Sweet.
And he had a hell of a country collection. Specifically, a shitload of old Johnny Cash records and a bunch of Conway Twitty. But he let me know, he goes...
Is that the chicken one?
Hmm?
See if he has the Johnny Cash chicken record. Johnny Cash recorded a shitty record.
Just to fulfill like
Yeah.
contractual
Which is
obligations.
about chickens or
That's
something like
awesome.
that. I forget.
So first of all, dude was like I never knew that my grandfather was also super into Johnny Cash, but like I knew my dad was because I had a sister named Sue. And I was like, do you feel like you dodged a bullet? And he's like, I've made that joke so many times. But he goes, I also have a duplicate of Johnny Horton's greatest hits. And I'm like, I don't think I know Johnny Horton. So I looked him up. So meanwhile, while I'm looking it up, somebody goes, Tim Horton's brother. He heard The Who. And I'm like, okay, those were pretty good. But apparently he also married Hank Williams' widow. Like 8 months after Hank died.
Well,
But also...
it's not like Hank wasn't fooling around on the road.
But also, I'm like, imagine being Hank Williams Jr.'s stepdad.
Yeah.
That's a wild concept. That guy was Hank Jr.'s stepdad. Like, whether he was an adult or not at that point,
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
There is a Hank 4 doing music now.
Fuck.
Hank
3
3
son.
made a baby?
Yeah, and his son is doing music now. I don't know if he's going by Hank 4 or whatever, but
So is he grindcore, or...?
no, it's I don't know, actually. I didn't listen to it.
It's always the Williams brand of country, whatever it sounds like this generation. Which is usually shit.
Yeah.
I know Hank 3 has done some stuff that basically just sounds like metal to me.
Oh, yeah, he's got metal bands and punk
Yeah.
bands and stuff, but his country stuff has, like, maybe a good song or two on a record.
Bobby, the guy who got that record collection, was like, I like 2.5 Hank Williamses. I don't think he knew about Hank 4. I'm going to have to drop
No.
that bomb on him later, but I was like, his Hank 3 doesn't really do it for
He's
you.
a
And he's
half.
like,
That's a
sometimes. Yeah.
That D-Ray White song about the White's is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But
That picnic table performance.
that's happening in Three Coil.
Oh, yeah.
Replicate that in some
Yeah.
way,
Well,
shape, or
we could probably get Hank.
We probably could.
Yeah, but I don't know if we want him. I mean,
No, we
we
don't,
have
but, like...
taste.
We could get Hank, but we couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's the real issue.
Can't pass him off on me. Casey wouldn't tolerate him.
No?
No.
She may be our only weapon against him.
Casey's a hard no on Hank 3.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she would be, yeah. She's not a huge fan of country in general, even outlaw country,
Right.
but, like, I really don't think... I think Hank 3 would rub her exactly the right way. He would just hit that note.
You see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's not going to work at all.
Nope, Casey's going to hate the fuck out of this guy.
Gentlemen,
Game time.
it is game time.
Spock, take a look at this subspace news article. Some fool blew his own face off while cleaning a loaded phaser.
Fascinating, Captain. Was it someone aboard the Enterprise?
No, Spock, it happened in Florida.
Our states this week, of course, we have Florida, we have Wisconsin, and we have Ohio.
Flat cheese, flat cheese, flat cheese. Okay. I can't believe that.
Like craft singles.
I can't believe that every fucking week I can't remember one of 3 states, but it's one of 2 states. Like, why am I dedicating brain space to remember Florida?
Yeah. There's an excuse to not remember all the headlines.
Yeah,
but like Florida's kind of the free space on the bingo card.
Like, I realize, like, why are you keeping Florida in the list?
Yeah.
Well, headline number 1. 2 women, ages 55 and 63, are busted propping up dead man at a bank to withdraw his cash.
They literally tried to Weekend at Bernie's a bank.
Yup.
This is Aunt Peg and one of her sisters.
It's not even Weekend at Bernie's 2 when they had like voodoo magic on their side.
Nope.
God damn.
Is that worth going back to?
Weekend at Bernie's 2?
One? Any of them?
Probably not.
It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to genuinely enjoy a movie, no, probably not. If you're looking to ironically enjoy a bad movie,
Maybe.
yeah, might as well.
Yeah, if you just don't think you've ever seen them, sure.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever watched. No, I've never sat down and watched them.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are that generation.
Yeah, I watched the Blues Brothers the other night. There's a scene that I never saw before in that film
Really?
where Elwood quits his job. That wasn't on the tape I had.
Huh.
It
Oh,
like
was
he
it
worked.
like an extended cut?
No, I think the VHS was cut.
Oh, it was just like
There's
censored?
nothing on the disc said anything about extended cut. But yeah, he quits his job, and that's how he gets the glue at the end, where he glues the one cowboy's foot to the thing.
And they were like, well, we're putting this VHS out. We need to shave off a scene.
Who cares? If he's
We don't need to find out where he gets the glue.
yeah.
Headline number 2. A pastor, his wife, and others are facing charges for allegedly stealing $1.4 million in Home Depot goods and reselling them on eBay.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
$1.4 million on eBay.
Yep. From Home Depot.
Can you imagine the work that it takes
Yeah.
to sell $1.4 million worth of shit from Home Depot on
Exactly.
eBay? Fuck.
Yeah, outsource.
Are
Just
you
get listed.
mailing bags of mulch?
Like hammers and shit. What do you have?
Or are they just stealing like the like Dremel bits and shit?
Yeah, exactly. What?
Just put it in an envelope
Got a
and
truck.
send it.
Oh man, that's still a lot of Dremel
It's
bits.
an awful lot. It's an awful lot of anything.
Yeah.
Final headline. Shirtless 40-tier... 40-tier...
40 tits. 40-titted man.
Shirtless 42-year-old man named D's Nuts Lee Kroll was taken into custody an alleged disturbance involving a firearm.
These nuts decroll.
This is a legal name. He handed police officers his ID with this name on it.
So, like, he legally changed his name.
Yes.
Or was he raised with that name?
There's no way.
That could
These
change
nuts
my
wasn't a
answer.
thing 42 years ago.
Oh, yeah, he's 42 years. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, his parents were quite prescient if they
Yeah, really.
foretold the
Really.
coming of these nuts.
Got him. Red meat. Name that Florida.
Let's see. Which one's Florida? D's nuts is Florida.
It most certainly fucking is.
The pastor, the Home Depot pastor, Wisconsin, and the two women propping up the dead man, Ohio. That might not be right.
DMK?
Not confident on those two.
You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to say Florida is the women propping up the dead guy.
Okay.
Even though I know goddamn
This
well
guy has
these
a tie.
nuts is...
He's got a tie to Florida if it's not.
Absolutely.
He was on vacation.
Fucking, yeah. Florida man did this in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put these nuts, though, in... Yeah, I'll put these nuts in Ohio.
The Florida of the North.
Yeah. And then
So Wisconsin is the pastor.
pastor, yeah.
All right. Gentlemen. None of you got Florida right. So, I mean...
The women? No, the
retaining...
pastor was Florida?
The pastor was
The
Florida.
pastor was Florida.
Wow, that seemed the least likely to be Florida. I mean, obviously it's
Wisconsin?
someone we didn't pick, but...
Is D's nuts.
Really?
Yes.
Man, he traveled. Does much travel.
Ohio is the women.
These nuts get around.
Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
No way that dude has not spent his formative years in Florida. Like, he legally changed his name in Florida, I'm sure. Then he moved to Wisconsin.
Yeah. Although Wisconsin's got its own share of fucked up, for sure.
Yeah, true. But,
I went to a McDonald's in Wisconsin once, and it was an experience.
We went to a McDonald's in Newark once and saw a Chinese man chasing a chicken around the parking
my
lot.
God, I forgot about that.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
I think that was when we were picking Zach up.
Yep. Yeah, that was... Newark is fucking special. Listeners, if you haven't been, don't go, but if you accidentally have to, or find yourself there, just look around and get out.
it's very interesting to me that you were in Newark and you chose to go to McDonald's instead of White Castle.
Well, no, I'd made a wrong turn.
Oh.
So we had to get back around somehow, and McDonald's looked like the safest place to turn into, even though that was its own little brand of gang warfare.
This dude was just chasing a fucking chicken. How to get there? How did he get there? How did
Yeah.
the chicken get loose? I don't know. Got nothing for you.
The fucking inner city. A chicken, man.
The
All
only
right.
thing I can think is very racist.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It's still
Uncle
The most
Ron would be
likely-
happy to hear it.
Right?
most
yeah.
likely option, though.
Yeah, no, like, it's just that he was running a restaurant.
Yeah. It's most
He was
likely-
saving some money getting the chickens
Yeah.
live and just chopping them up in the
Yep.
kitchen. And I mean, that's the Chinese place that I want to go to, though, because that's fresh-ass meat. Yeah. Get some General Tso's.
But if you're
Chasing
doing
my General
that,
Tso's in Walmart or the McDonald's parking lot.
but if you're doing that, you're probably not getting grade A chicken.
Probably not.
It's fresh though. Fresh, but diseased.
Fresh counts for something, even if it's
Yeah.
diseased.
Nothing in Newark is actually fresh.
It's diseased, and it's not even like a normal chicken disease. It's got like herpes.
Just remember Kennedy taking the elevator up with a pimp in the hose.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. He was so happy. He was rubbing her bag, and she had a bag with Frederick's a Hollywood bag. Just riding up the hill, and I'm smiling ear to ear. He was so excited.
All right, gentlemen, time for the joke of the week.
Oh, hit me.
All right.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
What type of doctor treats transgender men? What type of doctor treats transgender men?
A gynecologist? No. I thought it was pretty good.
It's a worthy guess.
A guy now cologist.
There
Is
we
it?
go, there we go.
Yes.
A guy
Seriously?
now.
That
The
close?
guy now
Okay.
Guy now collegist. Okay.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
So good.
Funny joke.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.